Welcome back, everyone, to the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. Normally, we are a two-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year in Glasgow, Scotland, but due to the situation with COVID-19, we are instead bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours. And we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. And 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis, with 10% going towards helping UKSG support future events. I read you out some facts earlier. Let me give you a few more facts in their own words about the kind of work that they do and the support they provide. Did you know that more than half of homelessness services have seen a rise in homelessness during the pandemic, according to a crisis survey of 150 charities and frontline homelessness organisations? And more than 60% say they've seen an increase in people seeking support after recently losing their job. I just want to let you know as well about an upcoming bid war that will be closing because it's our next run. Octopath Traveler choosing the story. Tressa is now in the lead by $10, $35 to $25 for Cyrus. Nothing yet for Hannah or Ophelia, so if you want to influence that next run that's coming up, you only have until the end of this one in order to get your donations in. But enough of that, let's move on and talk about this run. Coming up now, TempestMask1000 is going to be running Doritos Crash Course, no chicken. Tempest, take it away.
Hello, friends. My name is Tempest, also known as Steve to some, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting game for sure. Pardon me trying to do all the little warm up and bone cracking there just to try and emphasize the little upcoming shenanigans. Really, that was all for nothing, I assure you, because really all this game needs is one controller. Maybe one of these days, though, I'll do Ring Fit Adventure speedruns once I have the gear to do so. But in the meantime, this will more than suffice because welcome to Doritos Crash Course. This game is something that's available on Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC through searching up Doritos Crash Course Go. And, yeah. If you want to play this game, it's still available to this very day, so I would highly encourage it because it's super fun, very customizable because you actually play as your Xbox avatar, and I mean it's got some pretty cheesy little biddies to it, I guess you could say. So what more do I need to explain? But first, let's open up the game for the first time of the day. And as always, they like to award gamer pictures to anybody that hasn't played this game yet. So we'll jump into single player, and as HUD's explained, the category will be no chicken. So it's essentially the any percent full game run, but I have to go through USA, Europe, and Japan. The London, Las Vegas, and Japan Easy courses are DLC, so once I eventually purchase that DLC, then I'll be able to do No Chicken Plus DLC, but until then, we'll just have to suffice with the base game content, which is still a pretty packed game for what it is. 15 levels, and each of them challenging to their own right. So with that, let's get this thing started. So again, 5 worlds each. This game usually goes by IGT time, but I will be counting our RTA, of course, just because. So I guess without further ado, we'll get this thing started. HUDs, would you like to do the countdown?
It would be my honor. Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get going then. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. So let's begin with the first stage of USA, Safety First. Now, say hello to my avatar. He is somebody that looks a little bit different on my Xbox One because apparently whenever you're playing on one profile from one console to the next, your avatar's gear might look a bit different. I believe it's because they don't entirely sync, although this is just me trying to think about that logic when really it has nothing to do with the game itself. Rather, you're going to see the basic mechanics of the game explained through here in some of these help signs, which also sometimes reappear in case the game wants to let you know what you might want to do, just in case it feels like it's necessary, which is not really in your face, so that's more than welcome in my opinion. But anyway, that was the first level, and oh my, that's a new ILPB! What the heck? That's by what? 0.004 seconds? That's wild. But anyway, that's a good start nonetheless, and I forgot to, forgot to RTA split that. So, but it's okay, no problem. USA 2 learning the ropes. So I hope you guys are ready for some swinging, because I do believe we do have some actual ropes coming up in a bit. But for now, all you need to know is that this game does take after the sort of gameplay style that you see in Wipeout and American Ninja Warrior, or Ninja Warrior, depending on where you're from. And so how it all works is I have to go from left to right as you would in most platforming games. The idea is to try and avoid as many obstacles, going from, well, basically a bunch of stuff like, what's it? Like the mallets and the crushers, as well as moving platforms and conveyor belts. There's all sorts of gizmos that will try and get in the way. And there's our first rope as well. So there are swinging mechanics for the case of the actual ropes, instead of another type of rope that we'll be seeing that looks a bit misleading and most certainly is in terms of gameplay. But oh man, hang on, I'm gonna reset here. So the thing about this game is that once you fail an obstacle 5 times, the game prompts you to consider pressing the right shoulder button, and then you can skip to the next obstacle. But that's the chicken mechanic, and of course no chicken dictates that I cannot do that whatsoever. So you're going to see me constantly go through these obstacles and resetting wherever need be. And don't worry, I'm not talking about resetting the level, just bringing me back to the latest checkpoint, because that kind of resetting is perfectly fine in this game's case. Otherwise, I would certainly not be wearing this shirt for nothing if I didn't hold myself to a principle where I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to reset the level entirely. I don't believe there's a rule dictating against that, but I would say so, if only because with every level having been counted for IGT, which you can find my timer for up in the upper left corner of the game, that would basically reset that. And I've played Mighty Number 9, a game that also uses IGT, and resetting a level as well as getting a game over is pretty much going to invalidate your run. So in the case of DCC, I assume the very same thing. Anyway, welcome to the next type of rope that that just came up quite earlier than expected, and that is, I believe I call them the chain rope. I don't know if they have like an official name or whatnot, but the chain rope, you can't swing on them like the other ropes. Instead, you have to just climb up them, and that's about it, really. So, keeping that in mind, I will have to remember that, otherwise I will be doing absolutely nothing, and it can lead to some awkward moments sometimes. Maybe a little bit of time lost where, I don't know, I'm just doing nothing, because I'm trying to find the right words here. This game can go a bit of a mile a minute, and yet, oh goodness. So for those who don't know about me in this game, I actually picked it up as a speed game this year, particularly for attempting to submit it to Calathon Memathon Strikes Back. And although the game did not get accepted, the schedule still turned out to be quite packed with some fun stuff. But even then, that didn't stop me from running this game, because I just knew, from a perspective of having years of nostalgia with DCC, it just seemed like the perfect, I have to reset on that one, the perfect sort of speed game to sort of pick up, and seemed very easy to do, and it very much is. Despite how daunting these obstacles might be, I want to encourage you to give this game a shot if you can, because it's super fun. It's very well made, in my opinion, despite how most games that let you play as your avatar might not seem to be that, but otherwise, you know, all in all, just a great game. And yeah, we're moving on to our final level in USA, so get ready for a little change of scene after the fact. But otherwise, I do want to point out that there's quite a bit of things happening in the background that you may notice as well, like how in USA there's King Kong on the Empire State Building and seemingly has a couple of horns on his head now that I think about it. Not sure where he got those. There's also sometimes a UFO abducting some audience members. Not sure what's going to happen to them, but I assume they're perfectly fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm under the assumption that the UFO is just trying to get some screen time, wouldn't you think, Huds?
Certainly looks like it.
Yeah, pretty much. We also got the Statue of Liberty, and yeah, just basic American-colored platforming and stuff like that. And oh yeah, Mount Rushmore, can't forget that one. But yeah, the reason I bring this up is because I just like these little silly touches as to what makes up each world or each part of the world's backdrops, and you'll like I said, you'll see a quick change in that. Oh, I didn't think I was going to make it there. Come Europe. So I hope you guys are ready for that one. Otherwise, well, what else can I say but get ready for the non-auto-scroller auto-scroller. This section uses a couple of fans that I have to use to float on across from point A to point B. It's basically an auto-scroller because my progression is limited to the fans being available. And I almost first tried that for once, but we'll try that again, no worries. You might have noticed that my character is using these ramps, and the game does let me slide. I do believe some community runners of Doritos Crash Course actually perform no chicken, no slide runs, but me personally, I like having the ability to slide because I love the idea of using that momentum and making these, oh, come on, these longer jumps to get further ahead. I just really like that mechanic. Otherwise, my character can run, and what I'm doing is I'm holding the right or left trigger button to do so, but once you start to hear a slide whistle sound effect, I'm going to let go for a bit because otherwise my character will trip, and that's a bit of time loss in itself. Let's see if I can just give myself a bit of serious time here this time around. Huds, if you got anything you want to say, here's your first chance to do so.
No problem, thank you to Tempest. We've had an anonymous $10 donation come in. No comment on that one, but it has gone towards Octopath Traveler, the bid war, and they've put it towards Cyrus, which means that both Cyrus and Tressa are now tied on $35. It is our next run. Zonorous will be running that. So again, if you want to influence which run Zonorous is going to have to do, you've only got till the end of this run to get your donations in.
Sounds good. Me personally, I like Tress as a character, but Esmeralda can be such a pain. I've seen runners suffer to Esmeralda, and I'm just, man, I feel for them. And I certainly wouldn't want to put Zoneris in that position, but I'm the one currently running this game, so it's not like I have much multitasking in me to help with that right now, unfortunately. Sorry, Zoneris. Anyway, here's Europe level 1, so we've moved on to the second of 3 worlds. And here we go. So you might have noticed that with these trampolines, my jump height varies between how close to the center of the trampoline I'm at, and it's a pretty unique thing that I don't think I've seen much in other platforming games. Feel free to correct me if I'm missing a title that I could be thinking of, but yeah. You also have stuff like the seesaws, which we kind of saw in USA as well. And there are some points in the game where I could take alternate pathways that could potentially be faster, although I might just go the normal way or other way because it might seem a bit simpler and might be less of a trial and error sort of thing. But my last run that I did with this game at No Glitches Allowed, it did see me try to do something that I believe was in Europe using the conveyor belts in an alternate path. Therefore, I'm going to see what the heck I can do when we get to that point and try to avenge myself there. But otherwise, it was a very good run, and I'm absolutely hoping to do the same with UKSG for sure. So if you guys are feeling it right now, let me see some Doritos emotes in the chat, because I'm pretty sure there's at least one that everybody has the ability to use, and especially do so if you're feeling Doritos. Otherwise, allow me to explain why this game is called Doritos Crash Course, because in truth it was actually known as Avatar Crash Course. Doritos eventually caught on to this game and said, hey, do you mind if we sponsor it and have you put our name in it? So therefore Avatar Crash Course officially became Doritos Crash Course, and the rest is history. And in truth, there's also a second game that did exist. Unfortunately, it was more online than offline, and in 2014, sadly, the servers shut down, so I do believe that is what had rendered it unplayable for the longest while. So, unfortunately, while Doritos Crash Course 2 existed, I don't think it had much of a chance to get speedrunning in because of that, although there could have been some people that did attempt to do so, and if you are one of those people, just know that you have my full-on respect. But rest in peace to Doritos Crash Course 2, and maybe one of these days we'll get a revival, but only if people are more than willing to do so. See, the developer behind Doritos Crash Course 2 unfortunately shut down its studios in 2017, but you never know what could happen. Oh, come on, guys. Could you not with the paintballs? I think this game wants me to stop talking about the sequel now, so I'll do just that. But the paintballs that hit my character don't do much of a threat except push me back. So it depends on the obstacle, otherwise it was more of a nuisance than anything. But here we go. Let's see if I can just do this and bring it around town. That's it. Okay, so you also notice that there are two types of conveyor belts in the game, and one is colored red, or red and blue, I guess. I think that's the most consistent conveyor belt color. Otherwise, the normal type usually goes for the world's theme colors, like in this case it's yellow or beigeish and blue. But the obviously one goes much faster than the other, so it's something I do want to be careful of when it comes to my momentum, when it comes to my speed. Anyway, there's a little section where I have to pick the right platforms when it flashes green and opens up, otherwise it will close in due time. And I also want to be careful where it could potentially flip back up and push me back up to the row I was in before, because that has happened fairly recent, and that's no fun. Okay, let me see if I can get this. It doesn't look like it. Oh, but okay, here's another attempt. Nope, not gonna happen. Okay, no problem. There we go. Okay. And just to flip up here, some trampoline bounces there, and we're on to the next obstacle already. You'll notice those panels that sort of opened up, and I can stand on them, and it's not like when they push me, it's dangerous. No, because you saw that sort of happen. My avatar got slapped in the face by one of them last stage, but nothing happened, so it's not like I died to it or anything, and therefore that's good, because I'd say that's one of the more convenient things. It can look a little misleading, but it's not the case. I should tell you that with the crushers and the mallets, this game does have you automatically warp back to the checkpoint whenever you get hit by the crusher or the mallet. So I press the Y button to restart my position in order to save a lot more time than letting the animation fully play out. Therefore, that's why it's a very acceptable method in terms of stuff like this anyway. Otherwise, it's funny because when I first got introduced to DCC, it was through the sequel game, and Doritos Crash Course 2 did have that sort of fixed where getting hit by a crusher let you continue. So it's a little unfortunate that the first game did not follow this either, but, you know, it's just something to, I guess, be careful of, because to some it might seem a bit misleading, and it certainly was for me. Anyway, here's that part. Oh, okay, let's try that for reals. Oh, come on. Slide and jump, bounce, and we're through. I don't think that was the conveyor belt one, though, so I just made it sound like that was the obstacle I was talking about a bit earlier. Whoops! In the meantime, Huds, if you got anything else to say, go ahead and do so right now.
No problem, yeah. I just want to let you guys know that if you want to get updates for when our marathons go live and when your favourite runs are coming up, make sure to follow us on Twitter at UKSG Marathon. That's at UKSG Marathon. And if you use the hashtag UKSG Autumn 21, you could still be featured on stream before the end of the day.
Awesome, sounds great. And by the way, keep those donations coming if you guys can, because the fact that we're raising money for an organization like Crisis is truly amazing, and the fact that we're helping people hopefully find a place to call their home forever is absolutely wonderful. It's a cause that I'm all for. Knowing that there's not as much people fortunate as we are out there. I know I certainly call it a privilege to be under a house's roof when when weather's looking rough and stuff. And I know there are less fortunate people, so our contribution and UKSG's contribution through these events for them have been nothing but putting a smile on my face for that very reason. So, yes, thank you very much to everyone who's donated as always. You obviously have my respect. And I'm all for especially the idea of incentives too, so if we can get that bid war going and see if we can change the odds a bit, feel free to do so. I'm all for seeing a change in pace, seeing if Tressa somehow gets sniped or whatnot, but, you know, that's only if people want to, because I know Tressa seems to have quite a following, at least from what I've come to understand anyway. But yes, alright, I'm going to give myself a bit of series time. And there we go. Okay, cool. So, I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know, Huds, do you have any questions you want to ask about this game right now?
One of the things I want to ask is, why is there a flying pig in the background?
You know, that's a very good question. It's actually a hot air balloon.
What's it supposed to represent?
I have no idea. Probably probably pork cuisine or something like that, or maybe farms or something. I have no idea. But respect the pigs, folks. Pigs are nothing but sweet animals, and they deserve nothing but happy lives.
I'm thoroughly enjoying all the stuff in the background. I mean, as thrilling as the gameplay is and the speedrunning, it's really nice seeing some of the details they've just dotted around behind the scenes.
Yes, I have to agree. Yeah, because you might notice the Eiffel Tower in the background, so that's definitely one thing. And actually, I gotta say, I am more than curious to know what the DLC worlds of London and Las Vegas have to offer when I get to that point, because I have not spoiled myself at all as to what those involve. I know nothing about those levels, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that might involve. But here's the paintball cannons, Valley of Paintball Cannons. Okay, I'm gonna let that cycle play through. There we go. And now, for the rest of this portion, I just gotta maybe take a little yeet. No, okay, I did not have speed. I did not have speed at all. Let's try and use the cover right here. Oop, there we go. Okay, cool. Final world coming up is Japan, and this is where most of the hard levels are going to show up, hence why I think the developers thought it made sense to bring in a Japan easy world. Otherwise, you know, just a little few things to be careful with and so on and so forth. But I'm on very good pace here that I'm definitely thinking that this could result in yet another RTA PB for myself. It's so, hey, not to jinx myself or anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this one ends. All right, here we go. Oh, that was so close. Oh, but then that last crusher, well, I wasn't so lucky with. But man, the edge, the little hanging on the edge there. How about that? Okay, coolio. Here we jump from one point to the... There we are. Now this portion is where some of the levels will use a sort of balance between the ramps and trampolines, so... Oh, thank goodness. I almost pushed myself into there, and that would have been bad. Ramps and trampolines, where the trampoline might be in the center, but sometimes it might be a little easy for me to get stuck. Not necessarily to the point where I can't... I fell there. No saving myself. Where not like I can't move, not that kind of stuck, just something else, I guess. Anyway, here we go. More uncovering things. And wait, jeez, that was a premature reset right there. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Oh well. That wasn't premature though. Thank goodness. Come on. Okay, thank you. Jeez, the game suddenly giving me a last-minute juke there on that first Japan level. Big shout out though to Sasuke, the Japanese game show competition, which is basically what we derive American Ninja Warrior from. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had so many years of people doing some wonderful competitions and attempts to climb Mount Midoriyama for the grand prize. I know this season came to an end with at least one 15-year-old coming very close, but unfortunately ran out of time. I forget his name, but if you happen to be watching, just know that you have my respect for getting this far, and better luck next time. Now, because when you, at first you don't succeed, but then try again. Alright. So, level 2, Domo Arigato. Frick. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a running start. In case you hadn't noticed, though, the top section does show a little... come on! Progress bar. Okay. A little progress bar that shows how far to completing the level I am at. Okay, I need to give myself another burst of speed. You'll notice, though, at this point that the game is now giving me the prompt saying stuck, press the right shoulder button to skip ahead, and if I do so, that's the chicken. That's the thing that I want to avoid, and it certainly says something that I've managed to avoid causing that at least once up to this point in the run, so that's pretty good, but hey, a little reminder there, and unfortunately that last pressure got me. Wow, I think I might have slipped and suddenly got myself off cycle because of all that. Let's just play it safe here and go as intended behind this cover. And there we go. Alright, moving on. Oh. Alright. I'm just gonna go into focus mode a bit again, so, yeah, Huds, if you'd like to say anything.
No problem at all. We'd like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with a channel for streaming, they are sharing their gear, their technical assistance, and their sponsors. And be sure to check out ESA's next event, ESA Winter 2022, which is happening sometime in February next year. We'd also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands, and they've supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word, providing us with a channel to stream on in past sessions, amongst other things. Mark your calendars because their next event will be coming soon. It's going to be streamed on this very channel, so you won't need to go very far in order to watch.
Heck yes, and shout out to my fellow friends at BSG who I've been doing online tech with for quite a while now. It's been quite a fun time. It never fails to see these familiar people all putting together a good show, and maybe so at some point I will definitely try to do so for UKSG. I have been thinking in the past, I just haven't gotten to it yet because enough times around I've been busy myself. But big shout out to all the staff and volunteers that make these events possible, because if it wasn't for you, we certainly wouldn't. Things would certainly there would be a lot of uncovered fires that I'm sure a lot of people or by themselves couldn't easily put out. So you guys are the jam that holds the proverbial sandwich together. So thank you, all of you. Alright, here comes some more trampoline bouncing. And alley-oop. Yeah, yeet. Or at least a little yeet, because I try to make it seem like it's fast, but sometimes I forget that it's not as fast. Alright, here we go. Next obstacle. I'm just going to take the bottom route then. Oh, nope, never mind. Second chance on the top. Whoop, oh, come on, man. This one's a tough one. Okay. I think I'm good. Yep, I'm good. Alright. Like I said, this is where the hard levels start to come into play, and we only got like 2 left, so it gets more interesting. And that, yeah, I just took a chance with that transition to the last trampoline there. That could have been bad, but hey, I'm glad it paid off there. Oh boy, I'm gonna go down here maybe. Oh wait, that wasn't the faster route. Whoops. Can I not go higher? I thought I was. Oh wait, oh there we go. Right, slide jumps. Yay. Yay for slide jumping. Okay, next is a bunch more crushers, and on conveyor belts no less. Ooh, so close. Very cartoony these things are, I tell ya. I'm totally feeling like Tom from Tom and Jerry right now. Okay. Here come some volcanoes that are spewing some paintballs. I believe these are references to some of Japan's well-known volcanoes, such as the likes of Mount Fuji, but I am no expert on that one. And we got some more iron chain ropes to climb, jump up over here. More mallets incoming. Now the problem with these things is that they can knock you forwards or backwards, so it's not necessarily a exclusive kind of KO to one direction, because they can still technically hit you on the way back, and you know, it makes sense because it's logic. I mean, what else do I need to say? Here's Muzukashi Wheel, and the wheel in question will come up as the last obstacle, but believe me, this is where things get a little more interesting. So for now, here's some more crusher and conveyor belts. Ooh, got snagged right in the midway. Let me remind you guys that one of the nice things about this game is how customizable it can be, because again, running as your avatar lets you basically play as whatever character, however you want to like dress them up. So if you want to do silly avatars like recreations of other characters, that totally works. In my case, my avatar usually wears this Dance Central shirt that I unlock in-game, so you know, it's definitely a thing that reminds me of the fact that I have Dance Central too. So, you know, alright, let me focus here. Oh. There it is. Then I bonked. Let's not bonk this time. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Cha-cha now, y'all. And fall down to the ground. Or the water, which, to be fair, you haven't really seen him fall and make a splash just yet. But, again, I prefer resetting to save some time instead of wasting it to the animation. Oh no! And I just had to talk at that very moment. Thank you, game. The game knows. Shout out to LZ Cards Fan 23. Oh, come on, no! Alright. This is why I don't like to play the guessing game, and yet my mind does a 180 on that sometimes. Oh, thank God. Okay, next one, some more trampolines. I think the lower route might be a bit faster, though, honestly. Yeah, because sometimes when I take the trampolines, the bouncing can sometimes get a bit slower because of the center bounce being much higher and the jump arc potentially being a bit slower and stuff, but yeah. And whoop! The thing about the collapsing platforms is that once you start a chain of them, the other one might automatically be going. It's just waiting for a certain amount of seconds to do so. And therefore, it might seem like I'm in the safe zone, except I'm not entirely in the safe zone, because the game might still be moving while I might be not. So you know, just a little word for the wise if you intend to pick up this game and you find some of these falling platform obstacles, but it's still very fun. Oh yeah, though, I should mention that I just tried it myself because I hadn't thought to in a while. Yeah, the control pad, the D-pad, it doesn't work, so you have to use the control stick to move your character. Just a little something. Anyway, here's the Muzukashi Wheel. It's a bunch of conveyor belts on a spinning, rotating wheel. One of them is normal speed, but it's going the opposite direction of the others, and it's there to throw you off. Otherwise, there are two fast directional ones. Let's just wait a bit more. Oh, no! Oh, thank God! Yeet! That's it. Alright. Final level. Here we go. If I can manage to clear this in less than 32 minutes, that should be an RTA PB. Otherwise, no problem, because I did manage to get a little IL PB, and this has still been a pretty fun run all the same. I'm glad that everybody seems to be enjoying it, so with all that said, let's go. And Uds, this is probably going to be your last chance to say a few things if you'd like to right now, so go right ahead.
No problem at all. Thank you very much. Just to remind everyone, we are raising money to support Crisis, who are a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. And if you didn't know, people in insecure living situations such as those sofa surfing with family and friends have been particularly impacted in the last year, especially with the COVID pandemic. 60% of organisations surveyed have reported a rise in people sofa surfing seeking their help. Your donations, 90% of them, are going towards Crisis, with 10% helping us put on future events here at UKSG. It really does make a huge amount of difference every donation that you are able to give. We are going to be closing our bid war for Octopath Traveler very shortly. It's still tied between Cyrus and Trassa, so if you want to influence that one, this is going to be your last chance.
Oh, it's a tie? I guess I didn't catch that. I thought one was in the lead. Oh, well. Alright, well, anyway, get ready on time, because once I hit the final goal, that'll be it. So here we go. It's almost up. We just got, like, maybe one or two more obstacles. Let's see how it goes. Oh, man. This is what could slow me down, sadly. Oh! Okay, come on. I still got this. I can still try for that gold medal, at the very least. Ooh, but it doesn't seem like I'm on good enough pace. Oh, boy. This could be close. Oh, it doesn't look like I'm getting that gold medal today. Oh, well. Keep it going. And time. Whew, okay. We're done. That's everything. That's all 15 levels of the base game. And, I'm gonna need a moment here.
GG, well done, Tempest.
Thank you.
Would you like to know your final time?
Right, sure. I do have live split open, but yeah, feel free to let me know.
Oh, fantastic. By our timer, it's 32:24 RTA.
Alright, it says 32:23.83. So I don't think that's quite... that could very well be an RTA PB, but I'm going to have to recheck that with my previous run at NoGA 8. We'll see what exactly happens, but yeah, I did manage to get at least a ILPB in USA 1, something very unexpected given how optimized that level seems to be for me more often than not, so I'll take that. But otherwise, yeah, big shout out to the Doritos Crash Course speedrunning community. I know I see Mitch Popo in there, appreciating the little shout out to the no slide runners and all that stuff. And yeah, shout out to just basically everyone in our Discord server who have been making this happen. Kebab is live, Hobo Jimmy, Koal Lazy, all them. Yeah. That said, if you want to join our server, the Doritos Crash Course speedrun community is something that you can find the link to on our speedrun.com page, so just type in Doritos Crash Course. There's a little extra section for the Discord right there that you can join us. We're always welcoming other people, and a lot of us runners are fairly recent these days, but at the same time we're definitely having lots of fun trying to whittle down our times as fast as we can and do all that other good stuff. So here's hoping that at some point soon we can definitely get some of the others maybe joining me, or other than that, because I definitely love to see what more of us can do at other events. Not just me, but everyone. Thank you so much for making this community and welcoming me when I joined in. It's definitely quite the thing to get into. And with that, I hope to see you there. Otherwise, my name is TempestMask1000. I don't have a static stream schedule, but whenever you see me live and want to come and say hi, hey, feel free to do so. All things considered, thank you very much to UKSG for having me these past few times this year. When it all started with winter 2021 with Extreme 2, it was such a great time. And I gotta say, what a wacky run to get accepted to basically close out this year with them. But I don't blame you for wanting to see this game. It's quite an experience. With that said, though, enjoy your Doritos or whatever snack foods you guys have. I'm a bit of a guac person myself, and chips are the perfect combo with that. But otherwise, my name is TempestMask1000. Wishing you all a great rest of the year. I hope to see you all around maybe sometime soon. And yeah, as I always like to sign out, ciao, amici.
Thank you so much, Tempest, for a fantastic run, and yeah, an absolutely wonderful game to bring here to UKSG. So we're really, really pleased to have you, and thank you for showing it off with such an incredible run, the no chicken category. That's going to be all from me as your host. I'm going to be handing over to Flower258, who's going to see you through the last 3 runs of this marathon as we close out UKSG Autumn 2021. Coming up next, we have Zonorist, who's going to be doing Octopath Traveler Single Story Bid War. We will be back very shortly.